In 2016, Your Name, written and directed by Makoto Shinkai, took the anime world by storm. Fans watched in disbelief as the movie outperformed Spirited Away to become the highest-grossing anime film of its time. We all came for the breathtaking animation, but we stayed for a story that completely rewrote the rules of anime. Before it became a global phenomenon, the film's journey started in 2014. In his first pitch to Toho Animation, Makoto Shinkai called it "I Knew It From a Dream." This title referred to a classic Japanese poem by Ono no Komachi about meeting a lover in a dream. He also considered the title "You Are Half of This World" before finally landing on Your Name. After premiering at Anime Expo in July 2016, the film became a worldwide sensation over the next year, with dubbed by Funimation. Shinkai's inspirations were incredibly diverse, ranging from the anime Ranma 1/2 and the classical text Torikai Abaya Monogatari to Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. It's a blend that perfectly shows how love can cross the boundaries of space and time. Today, we are putting the pieces together. We are reviewing the events of Your Name in true chronological order to clarify the confusion and emphasize the details you might have missed. Be aware, spoilers ahead. In the case of our two main characters, Taki and Mitsuha are separated by time. Mitsuha lives in the small town of Itomori 3 years in the past, while Taki lives in Tokyo 3 years ahead. They both have the same age, but when they switch bodies, they jump 3 years apart in time. The movie kicks off with Taki and Mitsuha describing a phantom ache, waking up in tears, searching for a nameless stranger, and remembering a night when the stars fell. But while this opening sets the mood, the true chronological beginning goes back 1,200 years to when a comet first hit Earth and formed Lake Itomori. In the modern day, Mitsuha's life is defined by isolation. After her mother's death, her father walks out on his shrine duties to become the town's mayor, leaving Mitsuha and her sister to be raised by their traditional grandmother. Part of their upbringing involves performing a sacred ritual to create kuchikamizake, a traditional Japanese alcoholic beverage that uses human saliva as a fermentation starter. Fed up with the town gossiping about her family's strange traditions, a frustrated Mitsuha makes a desperate wish to the heavens. She wants to leave this backwater town and become a handsome boy in Tokyo. The universe answers, triggering the body switch that will ultimately decide the fate of the entire town. Remember, Taki and Mitsuha aren't just divided by distance, they are separated by a 3-year time gap. When they first swap, they both assume it's just an incredibly vivid dream, unknowingly embarrassing the other in their respective lives, leaving their respective friends baffled by their bizarre behavior. Mitsuha only realizes the truth when her friends point out that she forgot how to do her own hair and couldn't even find her school locker. Realizing this is real, a determined Mitsuha travels to Tokyo to find the boy from her dreams. But here is the heartbreaking catch. She is traveling in her present day, meaning she is looking for Taki 3 years before he ever learns her name. When she finally spots him on a crowded subway train, he looks right through her. But Mitsuha's present Taki has no idea who Mitsuha is because Taki's timeline, he still never switched bodies. Desperate not to lose the connection, she hands him her red hair ribbon and calls out her name, Mitsuha, triggering a cosmic bond that Taki will carry into the future without even knowing why. Mitsuha arrives home just in time for the annual festival. This is where the movie's opening poem finally slots into the timeline. As she looks up, the comet fragments split from the sky. In a flash of cosmic tragedy, the comet strikes, obliterating the town and taking Mitsuha's life. But the story doesn't end with her death. 3 years into the future, Taki waking up in Mitsuha's body before the disaster happens. Rewinding the clock to the weeks before the comet hits, we get to see how their bizarre routine actually worked. For nearly a month, these random swaps happened about 2 or 3 times a week, always triggered by the simple act of falling asleep. To make sense of their double lives, Taki and Mitsuha had to quickly adapt, using diary and notes apps on each other's phones to log their days, set ground rules, and leave hilarious warnings about what they did while piloting the other person's body. After a while, Taki wants finally meet Mitsuha. Taki pieces together his memories to sketch her hometown, realizing that he never actually learned its name. But before he can trace it down, the connection snaps. The body swaps stop entirely. Refusing to give up, Taki journeys into rural areas of Japan to find her. The search leads him to a devastating revelation. The beautiful lakeside town from his sketches is Itomori, a place that was completely obliterated by the comet 3 years prior. The connection snaps completely as Mitsuha's text logs magically erase themselves from Taki's phone. The only physical proof left of her is the red ribbon on his wrist. Taki is left staring at the historical records of the disaster, learning the devastating scale of the casualty list. His search has hit a literal wall of time. Mitsuha is dead, and he is entirely powerless to change it.
But Taki isn't ready to give up just yet. He remembers a vital clue from his final days in her body, a hidden Miyamizu family shrine, the center of an ancient crater, formed by a separate meteor strike long before the one that created Lake Itomori. Inside, the walls are covered in an ancient mural foretelling the split of the comet. But more importantly, he finds Mitsuha's kuchikamizake, the sacred sake holding a literal piece of her soul.
Taki drinks the kuchikamizake, the sake Mitsuha made, and sees her family's history. The animation also takes an artistic twist as we are treated to a procession of Mitsuha's family tree. Taki also witnesses Mitsuha's mother dying and her father leaving all at once. He manages to see everything that led up to this point, and miraculously, Taki wakes up in Mitsuha's body once again on the day the comet is going to strike the town. Taki, who inside Mitsuha's body tried to warn about the danger, but everyone else see her behavior as just having an off day. But Grandma finds out what's happened. She tells Taki, in Mitsuha's body, that heightened spiritual abilities have been passed down in the family for generations. While her dad had long abandoned the family traditions, even Mitsuha's dad realizes the person he's speaking to is not his daughter. Time is running out. Taki rallies Mitsuha's closest friends to pull off a desperate, dangerous stunt, staging a bomb to force a mass evacuation toward the high school safety zone. But as the alarms blare, chaos turns into skepticism. The townspeople are confused, the authorities aren't buying it, and nobody is taking the comet threat seriously. Realizing his frantic warnings are falling on deaf ears, Taki knows he can't do this alone. To truly save the town, he needs to get Mitsuha back into her own body. At the edge of the ancient crater, Katawari Doki, the twilight hour, allows their two separate timelines to collide. Taki and Mitsuha finally stand face to face in their own bodies. Taki returns her red ribbon, untangling the thread of time that kept them swapping. They try and write each other's names on the other person's palm, but twilight soon ends and the bond is broken. And both are snapped back to reality. Mitsuha is running out of time. The rogue evacuation plan has failed, and the townspeople are still sitting ducks. Her absolute last resort is to confront her father and convince him to sound the emergency alarms. As she desperately races down the mountain toward town, she stumbles and falls. But it's not the physical pain that stops her heart. It's the sudden, hollow realization that the memory of the boy from the crater is vanishing from her mind. She claws at her thoughts, trying to hold on to his face, but his name is completely gone. Instead of his name, Taki had written 3 words on her hand. I love you. Mitsuha can't remember his face, his voice, or how the ink even got there. But looking at her palm ignites a spark that gives her the strength to fight against impossible odds. She bursts into her father's office, confronts him, and successfully forces a mass evacuation. Against all odds, the town is saved. By rewriting history, the fractured timelines finally snap into a single. Unified present, leaving both Taki and Mitsuha alive in the same timeline, even if they have no idea the other exists. Because the red ribbon was returned, the cosmic loop closes, taking their memories with it. It's as if the world-altering events they shared vanished into thin air. But the heart remembers what the mind forgets. 12 years flash by, and both are living normal lives, though both of them get the feeling that something or someone is missing from their lives. We see Taki has graduated college and is now looking for work in Tokyo, but he's not having any luck. While he's on the train, someone catches his eye. He can't remember where, but he feels like he might have met that person. And Mitsuha is living in Tokyo now. On the train, she sees a man she thought she knew once. They abandon their routines at the next stop, sprinting through the city until destiny brings them to the exact same set of stairs. Facing each other as adults, they ask for one another's name, and the movie ends. We actually get to see both of them again in another of Makoto Shinkai's masterpieces, Weathering with You. What was your absolute favorite part of this movie? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Also, let us know if you'd like to see more of these anime recap videos in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.